in Group Red from December 2nd to the 4th. 32 teams are split into 2 groups of 16. In the group stage, the mission is simple. Finish in the top 3 of your group to secure a spot in the grand finals. Place 4 through 11 and you get one last chance to stay in the fight. Land in the bottom 5 and you're eliminated. Once the groups are over, the final 2 grand final spots are determined in the last chance stage. 16 teams compete over 2 days on December 6th and 7th with no room for error. Only the top 2 keep their dream alive. After the PMGC League concludes, it's time for the final fight, the grand finals, the best of the best. 16 PUBG Mobile teams, including the host country, invite. Prove they are the one. The epic conclusion takes place from December 12th to the 14th. Who will rise on the road to glory, claim the crown, and take the lion's share of $3 million prize pool? Who will write their names in history? The journey to greatness begins here. Welcome to the 2025 PUBG Mobile Global Championship.
PUBG Mobile Global Championship, coming to you live from Bangkok, Thailand.
Shout, it shatters the silence in the morning. Call your name, I see the doubt. We're falling too fast without a warning. But if you stay, you'll battle by my side. They'll never ever win the day. No matter what they say, mission ain't broken, don't take what is spoken. Our path ahead is still unknown. This battle ain't over, let's walk through the fire. Wash out our fear, fight to the end. Here we go again. The scars are still fresh, but we will overcome the pain. The lights will never fade. This mission ain't broken, don't take what is spoken. Our path ahead is still unknown. This battle ain't over, let's walk through the fire. Wash out our fear, fight to the end. Lost in a dream, can't find nowhere to hide. No sign of home, so I just stand up cool. I keep calling you, do you hear it all? Let my voice break through the static and meet you in the fire. I'm crawling, I might lose it all, but it's worth the pain if I'm pushing through. 'Cause every time I'm without you, I'm fighting on in the shadows. So tell me, how can I fight you?
Start of the year, countless teams from regions across the globe came together with one goal in mind, and that's to etch their name in PUBG Mobile esports history.
40 teams made it here, battling through the Gauntlet, Group Red, Group Green, and the chaos of Last Chance. When the dust finally settled, the field was just narrowed down to 16 teams.
And it has all led to this. The 2025 PUBG Mobile Global Championship Grand Finals. 2 grueling days have already passed. And on this final day, one question remains. Who will be the one?
Now's the time to pull out all the stops because one champion will be crowned here at the end of the day. Welcome to the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Grand Finals live here in Bangkok, Thailand. I'm your host, Hot Jukes, here with Maxman and the 7 Worlds Gaming. We've been covering this for quite a while now, guys, right? And we got some serious squads that are ready to get a part of the action here today, 7.
That's absolutely right. I mean, we have Alpha 7 in the lead. We have squads wanting to hunt them down, and it's going to come down to if anybody can stop Alpha 7 from winning via Smash Rule and delay it, Max.
Of course you would open up with Alpha 7.
Of course!
It's deserved, but of course they got hot contenders right behind them.
Yes.
You got DRX, you got the side of APG, maybe can make it happen. You got Alter Ego, so many teams trying to play catch-up. Can they make happen before the end of the day?
Well, you know, you see the schedule? This is it, guys. This is the last day. You know, we've gone through the Gauntlet. We've gone through Group Green, all the different stages here, 7, you know, and it's so exciting to see just which team is going to be able to pull it out here today.
The progression of some of the squads, I think that's the main thing that we have focused on. When we started at the Gauntlet, I mean, one team that comes to mind, APG, they ended up qualifying via group stage instead because that squad just completely different. Came into the finals, and I mean, we saw flashes of what we saw in group stages, but not quite like what we saw in group stage.
Especially happy with the side of Reefus, right? He was MVP
Yes.
of day 1. He's going to maintain that momentum moving into day 3. Maybe a new MVP on the team. Reefus, could he make it happen?
Yeah, let's see what happens here, guys. But the most important thing today, in my opinion, is gotta be the Smash Rule because this tournament can be over in just 2 games today, Max.
It would be cool, but please, I want more PUBG Mobile esports.
Yeah.
Okay, let's at least have 4 or 5 matches. I would really enjoy it. There you go. The Smash ruling, of course, is going to be added 10 more points on top of what Alpha 7 had after 2 days, which is currently 125. And we know here, especially with Rondo being the first game 7, the points are inflated. Many teams could at least try and close that gap between themselves and the point threshold to try and smash moving into a wrangle.
Yeah, and just to refresh all the viewers' memory, I mean, Alpha 7 has been performing when it comes down to Rondo. The first day, 3rd place with 9 eliminations. That's already way more than 10 points.
Yeah.
And on the second day, they ended up with a 4th place finish and 6 elims, once again getting close to that 10-point mark. So for this squad, I think they are going to continue making sure that they end up performing and making sure that they get those 10 points and set themselves up for success in Erangel, because yesterday, what happened with Alpha 7? They got 2 back-to-backs.
That's right. And you know what? It's not just about team performances. It's all about the individual performances as well, because our Grand Finals MVP is winning a brand new Porsche Cayenne, and this is exactly how they're going to be able to do it.
You want a Porsche Cayenne?
I want a Porsche Cayenne.
I want a Porsche Cayenne.
I'm not good enough to get that Porsche Cayenne, but you know what?
Yeah, exactly.
Top wants a new family car.
Maybe we'll get that nice talent discount. We'll have to talk to Porsche about it.
Yeah.
But for this squad, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of players that definitely won this Porsche Cayenne, have been performing like they need this in their lives, and one of them has to be top, one of them has to be Reefus as well, but we've got to talk about some of the other teams too.
I mean, Rosemary
Yes.
from Alter Ego,
Yeah.
right, making it happen for themselves into day 2. And of course, when you look at the evaluation criteria for the MVP, if you remember it last year, it changed significantly going into 2025. Eliminations 40% is massive, so all about getting that elimination, but also knockouts, which have been pretty important,
Sure.
added to the equation this time around. If you can get a bunch of knocks like top with a mini 14, that guy could be at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. But the guys, this is what it's all about right here. Who's going to be our champion? You can see Alpha 7 currently in the lead with 115 points, but you got that match point right there, 125, 7. That's going to come into play big time.
It is going to come into play big time because what is DRX, APG, Regnum of those squads there trying to chase them down going to be able to do. And one thing that we honestly have to keep in mind is the squads that aren't really chasing them down, the squads that got absolutely nothing to lose, because we know that they're going to be looking at target Alpha 7, looking to target some of those teams and play that role that I absolutely love in Day 3, and that is the spoiler role. You okay there, buddy?
He's having a bit of an issue there. Actually, I was talking to Silas recently, just before the show started, and he said they're going to play very aggressive going into Rondo, and I don't think they're going to be the only team. I think a lot of teams know this is going to be a time where you're going to be so desperate, because as you said on the pre-show, right? How long is the day going to be? How many matches are going to be happening today? If it's only 2, guess what? Your amount of time for you to make that comeback happen is going to be extremely short. So every game, you've got to take with full potential of trying to get as many eliminations as humanly possible.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you got a chance to talk to some of the teams as well, 7. D+ in particular, when it came to possibly even hunting down Alpha 7 as well.
Another team, they got absolutely nothing to lose. By the way, before we go even into all of that, you found out something pretty special about D+.
Well, it wasn't me. It was some people on Instagram.
Okay.
Respect. Thank you very much, everyone in the community. But actually, if you include the PMGC Grand Final games of last year, so PMGC 2024, D+ Kia have won the last game, which is the final Miramar, 5 days in a row, which is an insane stat to imagine.
Crazy.
But that was without the Smash Rule. We do have the
True.
Smash Rule. Do we have a match 6 in the cards today? We don't know. But the fact that they win away is the last game, what a weird thing to happen for D+.
I don't think we're going to end up getting up to match 6. I'm pretty sure you're going to be hoping that I'm wrong. I'm going to be hoping that I'm not wrong. But going back to what you were saying in regards to some of those other squads, yeah, I mean, it has to come down to them just wanting to be aggressive and stopping Alpha 7 from getting enough points when we go into Rondo, and hoping that they can do enough to catch up to them. Because when you end up doing that, Max, when you end up maybe playing a little bit too aggressive, if you are chasing that first place squad, you're leaving yourself open to get eliminated, and that's what was happening yesterday. That's why Alpha 7 has such a nice lead coming into today, because the bottom teams, second place, fourth place, third place, all that stuff, they get eliminated early, and Alpha 7 takes full advantage of that.
You don't want to get too tunnel visioned, right, on those
Yes.
eliminations and forget about, oh, well, guess what? You're going to get third-partied by another team that is looking to play even more aggressive in this lobby. Got to be very careful, which actually, talking about that, scares me for Ulf, which has been ramping up their aggression. They won themselves, thanks to Scarface, that Rondo game yesterday on day 2. I want to see that kind of same momentum here where they're playing full-on aggressive and learning everything from the league stage going into these finals. They've learned so much, and I feel like Ulf maybe could be the big comeback team on this third day.
I agree.
So, talking about aggressive, one team that automatically comes to mind, Alter Ego. Yesterday at the start of the day,
man.
if we go from their performance in Last Chance to what we were actually able to see here in the second day of Grand Finals, completely different. That team was a team that was targeting mostly the center of the circle. They were playing a little bit like DX was at the beginning of the Grand Finals, but yesterday, completely different. They wanted to take the action to everybody, and I think you might have mentioned it perfectly, Max. It might have been because of that roster change.
Yeah, the roster change. Actually, having Moan on a team, replacing Snape, I was a little bit judgmental, and you know what? The results did dip a little bit after that, right? And they have Moana playing instead of Snape, and Snape had amazing results during the league stage. I was like, there's no way we see a replacement for Snape, but that actually did end up happening. And the main issue I did see on day 2 is they go for these very quick rotations in the center, as you mentioned, but there's no scouting, and they send it so split trying to go to the center. They use 2 players almost the entirety of the last 3 matches of yesterday. Fix the rotations in the mid game. If they can do that, Alter Ego, man, if they have a 4-man team in the positions they had yesterday,
Oh my gosh.
Indonesia could be looking strong.
Yeah.
I didn't mention it, by the way. I gotta give credit to their to Alter Ego's extra analyst, which is none other than our amazing caster, Blank.
Yes.
I'm not taking the credit for that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy. I think you're going to have to be able to adapt here today if you want to be able to be the champion. And I want to ask you this, 7, right?
Go for it.
Let's say Alpha 7 does get the 10 points in Rondo. When it goes into Erangel, do you think they should possibly drop in a different location?
They of course.
Right?
They definitely
Gotta mix
have
it
to,
up.
because every team that wants a chance to stop them from winning, maybe not even a hot drop, but a rotation camp, a rotation trap, which we have seen in the past, Max, and more than likely it can end up happening. The good thing, though, about this year that I want to let everybody know is that these teams have now, in the past, we were talking about, okay, this is going to be a spot just for that team. They're not going to be willing to change it. A lot of teams this year has been actually practicing multiple spots, not just one, not just 2, many places all over the map because of this smash rule.
I want to bring up the point you just said about camping the rotation of Alpha 7.
Yep.
I think Alpha 7 is the worst team to camp because they rotate so early, meaning that you need to camp them instantly after doing your looting stage, which is, I think Alpha 7 is like the worst team to make that happen. So if you do want to fight them, I believe Hot Drop would be the best option, but they have 2 drops on Erangel, which is going to be the big main map today, right? One over to the west in George Pole and even east of Stolber. So I think Alpha 7 don't have too much to fear going into the grassy pastures. I think they're big chilling.
Like, come over here real quick. Thanks for getting down. Well, making sure you don't have a fever. This man just said a Hot Drop would be the option. I like it, especially because of the current rules that we have, right? The rules said the smash rule, and so especially if they get into the smash zone. One thing, though, that I do want to keep in mind is that we were talking about the early rotations for Alpha 7. I wonder if they're going to be changing their style enough that ends up hurting them. We've seen it happen multiple times when we end up getting into this stage where teams have a chance to win via smash rule. It starts getting into their head, and it could end up backfiring. Luckily for this squad, they are one of the regions that has experience with a team winning via smash rule. Back in their PMSL America's Fall Split, Wolves ended up winning via smash rule, so I'm hoping that they're going to be able to go, they were able to go back, look at that, and see, okay, maybe this is how we need to play via smash rule.
Yeah, I mean, that's so crazy. Is like when you get in these kind of situations, just second guessing yourself just a little bit can cost you so much. We got another team though, right? I know that you're pretty confident in here today, and that's DRX. How are you feeling about them going into here the final day?
I'm a little bit scared because there is a 28-point difference between themselves and the point threshold to be in the smash zone, and that is, even a Rondo game, you can't get there unless you get literally one of the biggest games in the entire tournament, right? That is going to be really, really hard to achieve. But DRX, I like how QXZZZ, which we talked about being such a good fragger many times, I know you're a big fan of his playstyle, 7. I like how during that Erangel win, he didn't go overly aggressive. He set up his player, meaning that he is very adaptable. And for me, the true mark of a potential champion is a team that's not just focused on one role for their players. It's like, okay, I'm in a better position to set up my teammates, get the angles, deny enemy rotations. I'm going to do just that and get low eliminations. The fact that QXZZZ did that on that one game makes me so hopeful that they can go and be the champions this year.
For DRX, I want to see a much better performance when it comes down to their fragging ability here in Rondo. Both Rondos that we have seen out of DRX, they only been able to achieve 6 eliminations. Don't get me wrong, that is a good match. But right now, we are on the final day. And as Max was saying, what was the point? 28? Up to
28,
the smash
28
zone?
for them. Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, you got to be able to put up even more than just say like 6 elims, and on top of that, you gotta go for the win, Jukes.
Yeah,
Neox.
gotta go for it. Yeah, at least.
You maniac.
Oh my gosh, right? I mean, just hearing Neox is crazy because I'm surprised we haven't seen that crazy hot drop so far. But today with those teams, especially low on the leaderboards, you gotta do something to put up some serious points. One team I know you've had your eye on, 7, right, was Team Flash. Their first ever PMGC coming in here.
Yep.
They've had some highs and lows. How do you feel about them going into the final day?
I feel much better, honestly. And day one, I think we saw the mistake over and over again of this team not being able to hold an area or just play defensive when a team decided to just push them and crash them or surprise them, whatever the case might have been. But yesterday, we saw a big turnaround. And given that it was the exact same area when we first noticed that issue, when teams were just saying, okay, we don't in that compound, we're just going to get close and make sure we push them back. Yesterday, they were spreading out a little bit more. They were using that utility, and the utility use has been great throughout this PMGC Grand Finals, and I'm hoping for Team Flash that continues because more teams are going to be aggressive. It's the final day. A lot of those teams got nothing to lose.
I want to pinpoint something you just mentioned, which is the utility usage. Not just for Team Flash was good.
Oh, yeah,
like the entire lobby. I am a very big critique of how Molotovs are used in competitive. And like they're underused. They're committing to grenades way more. The Molotovs from, I think we had Xavier at one point versus a push on the eastern side of Yasnaya Field. We had a really good Molotov from Carrillo, right? Against the push of one of the Korean teams on Erangel. The Molotovs to block out pushes on entry points like windows, through doors, has been genuinely some of the best, in my opinion, ever in PUBG Mobile Esport. And I think it can get so much better if we give it even more time for this Molotov meta to evolve, if we can call it that. I don't know.
You even go back to when DX in the first day, one thing that team was doing well whenever anybody tried to crash onto them, I think it was RA at one point, the Molotov usage completely stopping that squad from coming into their building and then following it up with those nades. Perfect usage of the utilities.
Yeah, and what, 7, I ask you this. When it comes to a team that you think that could possibly surprise us, just go crazy, right? What do you think would be one of those squads?
I'm going to be a little bit Not biased, actually. This is not even a biased take. An actual team that has surprised me throughout this whole PMGC, and I've called it out during the Gauntlet too. And I'm wondering if you already know which team I'm going to say.
All right.
My boy. This is why we've been working so long together. That's right, RA. The aggressiveness out of this squad has been insane. We see them not being, and the reason why I say that just before I continue on is because MENA teams are usually not this aggressive at a global stage. In the region, yes, they flare out, they can be aggressive, but when we come to global, we usually don't end up seeing that from MENA teams. And this RA team is just starting to break the habit, and I absolutely love it. I'm hoping that we get one match where they maybe end up getting blessed by the circle, collect more points, and move up the leaderboard, because honestly, with the way this team has been performing, they were the champions of the Gauntlet. They've been able to just get a lot of eliminations here. Don't be scared of fights. I want them to be rewarded with the top 5.
I'm actually going to be a little bit more critical on RA. I think that they're, and I don't know if you would agree or not, I think they're overly reliant on Amori.
Yes.
Every time we see him clutch up, we're not seeing the typical IDA clutches.
Yeah.
Prestige, Damar, Skuton have not been really playing so far. So I want to see the other players kind of get these big elimination games, that so far Mori's been the one pulling a lot more of those compared to his teammates.
I would actually have to disagree with that one.
Oh, really?
Yesterday in Marth, I mean against Regnum, he was able to pop off. He ended up getting eliminated, but he knocked 3 players there from Regnum and was able to showcase those skills. So, but I know what you're saying. You want to be able to see more players more frequently. More frequently be able to do it. You know what? With that, yes, but I want to continue to see what Marth was able to do yesterday, too.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of Regnum Karya, right? We've seen them go crazy, right, at certain points. But also, you know, they're not at the top of the leaderboards. What do you think is, like, their big, like, glaring problem so far here?
I don't think there's a glaring issue so far for them. I think that their playstyle is really good. The circle sometimes shifts away from them. Like, especially the Alpha 7 win right next to the northeast side of, well, there are 2 of them, actually, northeast of George Paul. But the one where Regnum Karya were in the open, you still have a full squad, right, remaining for Alpha 7. They have a ton of smokes to make that transition, to push themselves deeper in the circle itself. And despite the really good setup, because it was a good setup, they had 3 off angles, which normally that would win them the game, but the amount of smokes Alpha 7 had were just way too much for them to deal with. I would say stick to your game. Maybe play a little bit more aggressive on that rondo, which is what Silas told me earlier. And I think that would be enough. But I think changing the playstyle right now for Regnum Karya, that have proven that this playstyle is successful, would be a pretty big blunder.
Yeah, don't. Regnum Karya, let's not go crazy here. You're currently in contention. I mean, you're currently in 4th place. You do have a gap to make up for. But thanks to those players popping off, I'm talking about Loxy and Weil and Silas as well, being able to put up those LMs, those numbers for the squad, you could maybe make that push. And with something to note too, from PMSL EU full split, this squad had a gap to close, and it was around this mark, around 30 points if you're taking Smash Point into consideration as well. There is a chance. We've seen Regnum Karya being able to just fully send it on a final match, on a final day of Grand Finals. I'm talking about what happened last year in London for the PMGC Grand Finals on the last match in Miramar. So yeah, if there was any team that can actually also surprise us, Regnum is up there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, we're about to get started here in just a few more minutes. Thank you for being patient with us. Rondo is that first match. I think I want to do a little bit of theory crafting here when it comes to Rondo, okay?
Yeah.
Right? We didn't see the crazy Neox Factory hot drop. We saw it in Danqing, though, right? We saw 3 squads go there. You think we're going to see that here today, or you think we're going to see something completely different?
I think we're going to have the typical hot drops happening just for the normal compounds outside of Neox Factory itself. But from talking to Silas, my boy, my homie, we're chill like that. We were talking, and he said that they don't want to get aggressive in the early game, not in the hot drops, which I think is definitely the right approach, because hot drops get a bit messy, and you might just give easy eliminations to your opponents. He said, starting circle 3, 4, that's when we're going to start to go full aggro mode.
Yep. Well, you know what? It's time to get this show started. Let's go ahead and take it on over to the stage to get the final day going.
Fans around the world, welcome to day 3 of the PMGC Grand Finals. We are stepping into the final chapter of this incredible journey, and today, history is about to be made. The tension is higher than ever, and every team on this stage knows that by the end of today, one of them will walk away as the 2025 PMGC champions.
สวัสดีแฟนๆ PUBG Mobile จากทั่วโลกด้วยนะคะและยินดีต้อนรับสู่วันสุดท้ายของ PMGC Grand Final ค่ะวันนี้คือบทสรุปของเส้นทางแห่งศักดิ์ศรีนะคะที่ความกดดันเนี่ยจะพุ่งถึงขีดสุดและทุกทีมบนเวทีนี้รู้ดีว่าเมื่อการแข่งในวันนี้จบลงค่ะจะมีเพียง1 เดียวเท่านั้นที่จะได้จารึกชื่อเป็นแชมป์ PMGC 2025 ค่ะ
Now, before we dive into any of the action, we have something truly exciting for all of you watching here in the arena and around the world. Today marks the debut of the 2025 PUBG Mobile Ultimate Runway, the game's first ever global X-Suits runway show, happening live at the PMGC Grand Finals. 16 of the game's popular suits will be brought to life by 16 renowned Thai models and cosplayers.
แต่ก่อนที่เราจะเข้าไปสู่การแข่งขันสุดมันนะคะวันนี้เรามีสิ่งที่น่าตื่นเต้นเป็นพิเศษสำหรับทุกคนค่ะนั่นก็คือการเปิดตัวอย่างเป็นทางการของ PUBG Mobile Ultimate Runway แฟชั่นโชว์ X-Suit ระดับโลกครั้งแรกของเกมค่ะกับชุดยอดนิยมของเกมทั้ง 16 ชุดที่จะถูกถ่ายทอดให้มีชีวิตขึ้นมานะคะโดยนางแบบและคลอสเพลเยอร์ชั้นนำของไทยทั้ง 16 คนค่ะ
But they are not alone. No, no, no. They will be taking the stage side by side with the 16 finalist teams competing for the championship title. It's a spectacular fusion where virtual world meets reality, blending style, storytelling, and esports in a way that has never been done before.
และพวกเขาจะไม่ได้เดินเพียงลำพังค่ะเพราะว่าจะขึ้นเวทีเคียงข้างไปกับทั้ง 16 ทีมผู้เข้ารอบแกรนด์ไฟนอลนี่คือการรวมพลังของโลกในเกมและโลกแห่งความจริงค่ะระหว่างสไตล์เรื่องราวและ e-sport ในรูปแบบที่แฟน PUBG Mobile ทั่วโลกไม่เคยเห็นมาก่อนค่ะ
This right here is a moment that fans will not want to miss.
และนี่คือช่วงเวลาที่ทุกคนไม่ควรพลาดค่ะ
And so, ladies and gentlemen, for one last time, let's meet our 2025 PMGC Grand Finals teams. First up, led by Avalanche to the stage. Please welcome our finalists from Thailand. Last seed from the group red, it is E Arena.
The 2025 PMGC tournament favorites from Mongolia and the group green champions, Alpha Gaming.
Following the glory of the Golden Pharaoh from Central Asia, put your hands together for the 4th seed Gauntlet team, Mad Bulls!
Radiating brilliance with iridescent, representing one of the most feared team in Brazil and sitting atop the current Grand Finals leaderboard, Alpha 7 Esports.
Rising from the depths with Poseidon. Give it up for the 2 seed from the Gauntlet team. They are from China. It's Thunder Talk Gaming.
Marching in with Dravion, your PMGC defending champions from South Korea, D plus Kia.
Unleashing the true power with the Blood Raven. Please welcome the champions of Group Red from South Korea, DRX.
Summoning Chaos with Arcane Jester. Here comes the last seed of Group Green, representing Central Asia, God Team.
Igniting the stage with Ignis from Turkey. Make some noise for Ulf Esports!
Standing tall as the Stigia lead, the pride of Turkey and their 2024 PMGC runner-up, Regnum Kaya Esports.
Blooming mysteriously with Pure. From Turkey, please welcome the challengers and third place in the Gauntlet, Kara Esports.
Glowing forest aurora, fallen natural glow, spark into her eyes of radiance. Got the glowing forest aurora. Crawling demons from the swamp, crave the darkness for eternity.
Charging forward with Sylvanas, the rising contender from Vietnam, and above are in the last chance, Team Fletch.
She's here to end the endless night. Let the unrelenting spirit stand, igniting the sunlight, valor in the dawn. Forge an armor with emeralds, amber halo clearing the chaos, power up the invincible.
Forged in stone with Marmaris from Saudi Arabia. Put your hands together for the #1 seed from the Gauntlet, R8 Esports.
Marching in with Galadria, the pride of Vietnam and the poised leader of Grand Finals Day 1, De Sevilla.
Emerging from the shadows with Cryonics Wraith, please welcome the last seed from the last chance and the last hope for Indonesia, Alter Ego Ares!
And finally, awakening with Hermit Chrysalis, closing out our finalists with our host
Let's give a big thank you to the cosplayers and the teams for that incredible showcase. They brought the world of PUBG Mobile to life in the most spectacular way.
ขอเสียงปรบมือให้กับคอสเพลเยอร์และนักแข่งทุกทีมบนเวทีนี้ด้วยค่ะต้องบอกว่าโชว์เมื่อครู่นะคะก็คือการปลุกโลกของ PUBG Mobile ค่ะให้ลุกขึ้นมามีชีวิตจริงเป็นโมเมนต์ที่สะท้อนพลังของ e-sport ได้อย่างสมบูรณ์แบบเลยทีเดียวค่ะ
Before we get into the official matches, as most of you know, the first time ever, this year's PMGC introduces the Egg Smashing, a brand new feature reserved exclusively for our champions. This adds a unique twist to the celebration, offering special rewards from Infinix and a memorable moment for the winning team.
และก่อนที่จะเข้าสู่ถึงการแข่งขันอย่างเป็นทางการนะคะต้องบอกว่าปีนี้ค่ะ PMGC ได้เปิดตัว Egg Smashing นะคะเป็นครั้งแรกฟีเจอร์พิเศษที่สงวนไว้สำหรับทีมแชมป์เท่านั้นค่ะเป็นการเพิ่มมิติใหม่ให้กับการเฉลิมฉลองพร้อมรางวัลพิเศษจาก Infinix นะคะและช่วงเวลาประวัติศาสตร์สำหรับผู้ชนะค่ะ so let's watch the video together
In the grand finals of the 2025 PMGC, 16 teams have fought their way to the ultimate honor. Each of them now stands as one of the world's best, and each is represented with the golden egg marked with their team logo. Inside every egg lies a special reward card provided by Infinix. A GT pad, a GT phone, or GT earphones, an exclusive gift waiting to be claimed. Before the grand finals begins, every team chooses 3 opponents whose eggs they would most like to smash. And now with the world watching, only one team has risen above the rest. One champion, one chance to get the ultimate bonus reward. If the champion wins by the smash roll, they may smash 3 eggs and take all the Infinix rewards hidden within. But if the victory comes by points, they may choose only one. One egg, one moment, one prize. This is the 2025 PMGC Egg Smashing Ceremony. This is the one you're looking for. Let the champion step forward and let the smashing begin.
And now, with all 16 finalists on the stage, the last and most crucial matches of the entire championship are just moments away. With the smash rule in play, every fight, every rotation, and every chicken dinner today could decide who will be crowned our next PMGC champion.
และในตอนนี้ค่ะเมื่อทั้ง 16 ทีมยืนอยู่บนเวทีเรียบร้อยแล้วนะคะการแข่งขันที่สำคัญที่สุดของปีกำลังจะเริ่มต้นขึ้นค่ะภายใต้กฎ Smash Rule ทุกการต่อสู้ทุกการเคลื่อนไหวและทุกๆ Chicken Dinner ในวันนี้นะคะอาจเป็นตัวตัดสินว่าใครจะได้ครองบัลลังก์แชมป์ PMGC ค่ะ
And so, ladies and gentlemen, the wait, it's finally over. It is time to begin our final day of the 2025 PUBG Mobile Global Championship Grand Finals. So Bangkok, are you ready? It's time for Championship Sunday to begin.
ไปชมกันเลยค่ะ
Let the smashing begin! Here we go. What a start to the show, guys. Of course, we got to get this started by giving a big thank you to none other than the Infinix GT30 series, the official gaming phone of 2025 PMGC. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory. Go and get yours today so you can outplay the rest. Also, guys, you want to make sure that you log into the permanent Polar Party skin, get in the game, and get that Mini 14 skin as soon as you possibly can. You have today to do it, so get that as well. And you got a couple more days left to get the Rev It Up emote. I know you got them all.
Oh,
Nice.
I got it. I got all the stuff PMGC related. I even got all the old skins I was missing. So I'm decked out, full esports mode.
Let's go.
Sorry, I was trying to get the rewards. But then he asked me to log into my account and I forgot my password.
Stop that.
It happens. It happens, guys. Well, you know what? We got to talk about these teams that we got going here. into the final day. Now, two squads that we're going to be taking a good look at is going to be Xavier and Alpha 7, Max.
Oh, like this head-to-head is like the best day one for Xavier, where they were gifted by the Circle, and comparing the second day here for Alpha 7 on the right side, which was an insane day for these guys. Back-to-back chicken dinners on a angle up northeast of Georgeport area. You couldn't ask for a better setup for them. But the comparison is, despite being gifted Circle in some scenarios right here, Alpha 7 capitalize, are aggressive, zoning teams away, get involved in the conversation with these other squads. And here to get 34 eliminations on that day, what a banger performance from the Brazilian team.
Yeah, the big question mark for DX is what would happen if you weren't able to get the zones, because the elims on that day were just 21. And I mean, we got an answer, especially yesterday for DX. And for Alpha 7, it would be, can they actually do what DX, but do it better? And boy, did they with more eliminations. And now we're having a head-to-head. Earlier, we were talking about that Porsche. Who's going to be the MVP? These two players are just performing lights out. You got Rosemary from Alter Ego, and you got Revo from Alpha 7, Max.
I mean, you're looking at that survival time of Rosemary.
It's crazy.
You pump up those numbers. He's over the 2 average elimination threshold, which is a very big statement to make in a lobby like the PMGC Grand Finals, right? But then, of course, you've got Revo, which is just a trial and tested player throughout every single era of PUBG Mobile Esport, and he's still on top to this day. He's always been shy, so close to being an MVP. This might be the time for him to make it happen.
An absolute legend in the making for sure. Already a legend, to be honest. As we take a look here at Alpha Gaming 7, their day 1 performance versus day 2.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be looking at the placements. I feel like that's definitely the biggest one. We know that this team can definitely frag out. You can see it right there on your screen. Day 1, 37 eliminations. Day 2, they were able to get 35. But the placement points, Max, I kept talking about it yesterday. Yep. I felt like I sounded like a broken record. They were only able to achieve just 3 placement points. If this team wants to challenge to become the champion, if they want to improve and pass Alpha 7, those placement points need to be there. And they need to be keep playing like how they've been playing, compact and working supportive, with Doc being supportive as well.
Actually, it makes sense. They have Zyol, past IHC player. We know what they did, a few years ago back in PMGC. They hated the placement points, only focused on eliminations. He's going to do it once more, but I would agree with 7. Placement points is it's not too bad to have. You definitely want to get as many as you possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of placement points, Max, Xavier, right? They got a whole bunch of them in day 1. Coming into day 2, they didn't get those circles. Do you think they're going to make some big adjustments coming into the final day?
I mean, hopefully. I hope they were looking back at their day 2 performance. Like, we're not gifted Circle and we're not making anything happen. It's time to prove us wrong that even when a Circle is not going your way, you can get some eliminations. You can get in these fights. Get involved. Try something, Xavier. It's not impossible. You can make happen today here for Vietnam on day 3.
Eliminations, Xavier. That's all I want to see out of you. Eliminations. We know that you can definitely get in the center of that circle, but we actually went back and looked at the overall leaderboard. That is the squad with the least amount of elims out of almost all the teams except for 14th place, 15th place, and 16th place.
Which makes
sense.
So
just to put that into perspective, like we need to see you be able to frag out.
Gotta get it done. Gotta get those points the hard way for sure. And we know Alpha Gaming is one that could definitely make it happen, 7. I know that is one of the teams that you predict to end up winning this thing here today.
Yeah, I definitely did. And I mean, that's what we were talking about in regards to them earlier just now. This team just needs to make sure they find a way to get those rotations down, early too, because they do end up landing military. Now we're on the final day too. What happened in Last Chance last week? Guess what? J&G ended up just camping inner circle. Those two squads are currently not here. And right now, we're just looking for first place. And I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, it's time to get this thing started. Let's go ahead and take it on over to our casters, Blank and John Allen, for game number 1.
It all comes down to this. Today is where you need to make your mark if you want to take Alpha 7 off that top spot and deny them something they've been on the hunt for so long. Time's now. Let's get things going.
Today, not tomorrow. Today. Obviously, for Alpha 7, this is a crazy turn-up for them, but we've seen them in this position before. Quite a few times, in fact, over multiple years. Second place, coming into first place on that day too, and falling out of favour with the lobby. And I think that this is the moment they've been waiting for. I'm looking over.
Okay.
It seems a little serious. I want to say a little serious. There is some smiles, and Revo smiling, which worries me. But it's Guizhou and Obscure. They're in now. And I think that these guys can do enough on their own to kind of drive forward the rest of the team. And it was nice to hear from Barney yesterday. We didn't really talk about it all that much, but they were saying that we're going to be together forever, which sounds like a Disney story to me, personally. But with the amount of times Alpha 7 has just kicked that player that doesn't make sense, even though they did so well in their tournaments off the team, that's a promising statement to me.
Hopefully they'll be able to keep that promise to this roster. This is so many daps. I'm not entirely sure what the ritual is, but let's hope it works.
4, 5.
They started before we cut away from them.
So maybe it's 7-7. You drop a little 7 on there.
Maybe.
Good to go.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
It looks pretty cool. Looks pretty good fun.
It was a bit much for me.
Yeah.
They're doing too much.
They're keeping their hands warm.
They're doing a bit much.
Keeping them nice and limber, because you do need those skills when it comes to potentially getting hot dropped, and especially
Aaron
here
hates
on
Kedge.
Rondo. He's mad dogging it right now.
The real evils.
Who do you think?
You think you're practicing
You
right
took,
now?
you
You're
took the
practicing
last
right now?
water from the fridge.
You're gonna practice?
Yeah.
Right before the finals? That should have been done yesterday. I saw the guys yesterday actually in the hotel. I said, good luck, to which Aaron looked like I was gonna kidnap him.
I hope you won.
No, I was not the intent. The intention was say good luck. Luckily, Scarface came out of nowhere and saved me from it all because he actually speaks some English. And he was like, thank you so much. And everyone was like, oh, he's just being nice. That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I can see how it could be somewhat. I don't know, actually. I feel like I don't look intimidating.
You're a tall guy.
That's about it. You know?
Yeah.
I have a very happy face, I'd say. I smiled as well. Maybe that was the problem.
Yeah. That's because we saw just there, Aaron.
He was like, just want me to give him the old taken good look.
If you're not staring him down, good luck.
Yeah.
If you're not staring him down,
or alternatively, probably could have said it to him in Turkish.
yeah, that would probably be an easy way to communicate. If only I spoke Turkish, or if you spoke Turkish.
Yeah, I
Do you
should have.
speak Turkish?
No, but I could have pre-prepared. Maybe.
Wow.
I knew they were on the same floor as us.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Giving the game away.
I know. What's the game?
Oh no.
What's the game?
Oh dear.
Ulf had a lot of burgies outside that door.
You're really dishing the dirt out now.
I am, yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, you gotta eat. You gotta eat. But that was a big order. That was a big order. Keep those boys fed. That's all I'm saying.
Well, hopefully they're going to feed themselves some chicken dinners today. They want to jump up towards the podium, towards those top spots. Keep themselves nice and full. Because we may only have 2 matches. Not too many opportunities. Although if there are 2 matches, they won't be getting any.
Yeah, this is your last chance to really show what you're made of here on the main stage. Rondo to start things off. Very, very curious because Smash ruling, especially in the PMGC format, John, it is quite important that we do talk about Rondo right now, where it's way, way more possible than in the past on Sandhawks to pick up those initial 10 points on your first game, enabling Smash ruling to take effect on game 2. In this case, we started calling it match point. You know, we're switching things up. That's okay with me. I'm all right to change the lingo. That's what I'm here for.
We're on top of it, don't worry. We will be hopefully seeing some teams surpass that. It may only be Alpha 7 though, right? With that buffer that they built up yesterday, they are definitely streets ahead. Do have a major opportunity here. So on Rondo, as we've said, possibilities do expand themselves. A lot of chance to get a lot of points very early in these games.
We are just waiting for the games to start up. And it looks like we are having, I believe that's D+ over there. Yeah, D+. Their banner is being reattached.
Oh yeah, got to make sure they can't see behind them. There's a big old screen with stuff on.
Keep them nice and cozy inside the booth.
Nice and warm.
Anyway, who do you think's gonna win Rondo?
Magnum Kai.
You think Magnum Kai is gonna win Rondo? I don't know. I think that's highly doubtful.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think they're a great Rondo team personally. I think they're a Erangel Miramar team.
They like go middle. They
Yeah.
sit middle.
Yeah, but it's like you go middle, and the big benefit you get from going middle is you get to be 4 players. But on Rondo, not really the case, because you can easily be 4 players even if you did take multiple fights out on the edge. I think Regnum Kai needs a little bit of spice. They got to take after that portion, sprinkle a little cayenne into their gameplay.
I mean, Loxy's a pretty heavy candidate as well for that MVP title. I think that even though Regnum Kai themselves aren't doing super hot, Loxy's kind of up there.
But when we get into Rondo, you're going to have to ignore that Wild does have one of the highest scorings on that map, okay? You've got to trust me that I don't think they're great at Rondo. Which in my mind is true. I think Wild was getting the majority of the damage done, but that was because of certain situations arising. But look at this, 40 seconds on our clock now. We are getting into match number 1 here in Bangkok, Thailand, 2025. Who's taking his first game? And is Alpha 7 able to put up those 10 points? Hello? Well, right then. I'm going to keep on going in the meantime. John is predisposed to something. Not entirely sure, but it is Rondo. First match of the day, we're getting into it. Stuck right into the main meal right here at PMGC. Playing down from Tin Long Garden up towards northwest Nanshan. Hongshan on the old plane path. DXavier out, and again, the guys on the desk talking about how DXavier could be the one to really get things back up to speed. E-Arena over on the east side dropping out, but not really the team that we are looking out for. DRX as well doing fantastically for South Korea. Alter Ego on this map with 10 elims over on Rosemary. Wild with 8. Loxy with 6. Hey guys, you gotta trust me. I don't think Regnum Kai is the Rondo team. The stats may say something else. We have to ignore the stats. Mad balls out over towards that top side. Alter Ego jumping out. Now I think for Alter Ego today, I'd love them to get into a top 5 and remain there by the time we finish. And that means being a little bit more, having a little bit more togetherness, right? A little bit more togetherness in the old Alter Ego meatball. Red Bull finding the first though over towards DXavier, and they do lose Paragin right off the bat. What a tremendously bad start for them. Xing shot over towards Zeus from Flash, getting themselves a nice little knock there. Match point 125. Got to reaffirm that point for you guys.
Vampire in the hot drop. Looking to try and keep the points on side. 1 point already. DXavier bumped a little bit further away. Ooh, Team Flash though in a tough spot up here. Win, last player in location. Fairly split and already going for the recalls.
Thunder Talk. VJ. Onside. Yes, so much win going down to Sighting as Thunder Talk to put up some more points here on the game. Sighting looking for a little bit more. His Vampire's getting a little bit of points right now as DXavier losing even more right here. They have one player still going, but it's Levi's probably the fall here versus Meowla. A good shot, and there is some chance from the crowd. Extremely pleased how this one's going down. The arena, though, it's a bit on tie action there. Heads on moves. Kara looking over towards R8, and R8 taking a tumble there. Recall beacon coming through. Get straight back into business though, not really making too many mistakes, most of our teams. Alpha 7. On our screens right now. You get that PMGC code redemption there, PUBG United 2025. Get those rewards back at home. Last time you'll be seeing them today. And D+ here again. And I think we can be pretty confident that D+ is likely not going to grab themselves another chicken dinner here on Ronda. It's outside of them usual behavior, right? Which is the last game that we get into. And I have my boy Hot Jukes. My boy Hot Jukes on the cast right now.
Let's go, dude. Hey, stepping in the mix. I am so
hey,
excited.
hey.
We're in this, baby.
Let's get
go.
it.
Rondo action. Oh, man. You know what? This is so exciting to see. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that we're not seeing that crazy, like, Neox Factory hot drop here.
So this is what I was saying by myself over here, obviously. You know, just
talking
to myself, talking to the guys at home. It's been quiet. It's been real quiet so far. And I think most teams are just looking to get those points pumped up a little bit more. Honestly, if you are any team inside this lobby, you're looking to stop Alpha 7 dead in their tracks, though. That's really important. Yeah. So you sort of coming to this agreement early on in the game is like, we kind of don't want to give away points early.
Yeah, I mean, if you're every other team, you got to have a serious eye when it comes to A7. If you even hear shots and you notice them in the feed, like, you need to be heading that direction, to be honest. Yeah, because, I mean, even if you're a team that, let's look at GOAT, 9th place, 69 points, all right? They're going to need some serious points here to step themselves up in the prize pool. They don't want this tournament to end any earlier. You know, trying to get first place is going to be tough. But if you could stop them, I think you got it. Let's see what E-Arena could do here as Joker with the run over. Man. Gets a nice little elimination here off the rip.
I think he crunched the car in. Sort of served him up on a plate on the underside of the vehicle. A little bit of the hot plate there, to be honest with you.
Sunny side up.
It's very much sunny side up. And the arena's still going. Lewis here with nade in hand, looks to pop it over towards Tony K, but we'll pop the pin back in for the time being, but there is shots from across the way too, so a little bit of a side angle. Not sure what Joker thought he was doing there. He did just play right into their hands.
Yes, he did. Let's see what Lewis can do here. He's got that nade locked and loaded. This should be a pretty easy one to hit. Yeah, Turney knows. I got to go ahead and push up, but it's a little bit too late. Lewis getting the flush, and that's E-Arena in big trouble with only one lap left.
Yeah, one player left alive there. We'll just get the res beacon on. It's fine. You know, we need more men in here, and more man's the one to do it.
Getting it locked and loaded here. And this is the squad everyone's got their eyes on. Alpha 7 playing it very careful all the way up in the north side. Thunder Talk is mighty close, though. Let's see if they happen to get into some action here in a second.
Yeah, I think for Alpha 7, you're trying to play it as safe as possible. Currently, they're right on that north side. And it is worrying them being around Thunder Talk. This team sort of is a little bit topsy-turvy in terms of their gameplay. So at any moment, they could just swing to the side like that shark, the Flint shark.
Yeah. You know, it's always like, those are always the biggest threats to these teams that really got nothing to lose here. The local squad showing out for their hometown. The crowd going crazy. 5 eliminations here off the rip. They got to be feeling pretty good.
Absolutely. They got to be feeling real good right now.
Oh, yeah.
Back in business.
Back in business.
Back in business. R8, the Saudi team. Honestly, I've been very impressed with R8 throughout the entirety of this tournament. Throughout the entirety of PMGC, in fact. Very, very good stuff coming through from R8. I can only hope that they continue. I'm very excited to see what this team can put up in future years as well. I mean, there's still a chance to day 4. They're not exactly too far behind. But you're right. The circle shifting over towards the west side and shifting on top of D+ is a bit weird.
Yeah.
D+ get a win on their first game of the day. They're like, hey, there might not be a last game.
Yeah.
So we got to do it first.
We can't mess around here. You know, it's so crazy. I was talking a little bit on the desk. We got a chance to talk to them. And you could just see the frustration on their faces because I was like, you know, why is it? What makes the last game so different for you guys? And they all just looked at me just stone-faced. They were just like, we don't know. We don't get it. Like, why is it that we win the last match? I don't know, but I'll take it. And you know what? Hopefully we see them make an adjustment. That last game, though, yesterday, it put them in the show. That's for sure, right? They're at 62 points right now. If they win this Ronda, we've seen them put up a 30-point game in the past. They just got the circle here. Who knows? Who knows what could happen?
Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll know in 10 minutes or so.
That's a fact. That's all fact.
But yeah, I think for D+, people were very, very surprised with that performance yesterday. 18 elims was pretty monumental for that squad. Reckon Kai here spotting a team sidling on pass. I mean, Flash getting a little bit close for comfort. They are quite literally brawling in the vehicles. And Flash just does not give a damn.
Yeah, out of there. Out of there. Man, it's so interesting. Honestly, I'm sensing nerves. I'm sensing some tension in the air here on the final day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very obvious here in Rondo. I think even on that Miramar we had Impala, yeah, really not a lot happens on Impala usually anyway.
Yeah.
When you get a circle like that. But there was even less happening here at PMGC. Teams are like, hey, we're going to sit still. We're not going to make too many mistakes. Vampire, though, on the other hand, you're right. Nothing to lose here. This team has everything to gain. And they are being the one team, I think, that's starting the most fights in the lobby.
Yeah. And it happens to be against DRX, right? DRX are already down one player. They're in second place right now. They cannot afford to lose this. And Hyunbin gets a huge nade. They're onto the bowl. Let's see what Lazarus can do. Uh-oh. Not the best start to this one. DRX.
Yeah.
Yeah, closing the vice grips. Oh, and getting those elimination points.
Yeah, that wasn't the best start. Was not the best start for Lazarus at all. Whatever.
Hey.
Whatever. It happens. It happens.
You know what? I appreciate it, though. I will admit, right? If you're a team at the bottom, go nuts.
Yeah.
Go start
Today's
pushing
the
everybody.
day.
You know, like, you can't possibly make a historic comeback if you don't go for it. And just sitting center circle ain't going to make it happen.
I mean, they're doing it again. They really do not care. They're just sending in teams that are feeling a little bit scared today, but Vampire's ready to bite down on anyone that comes across them on their path. Luckily, we move away from the water up towards that northwest side, a little bit easier to work with. We do have that high ground set around where Alpha 7's currently playing as they wrap downwards. We also have Alter Ego making that same approach. It's a worrying one for Alter Ego being so close towards Alpha 7. This is a big spray down coming through from the Mad Bulls, and Alpha 7 might just be pinched here, Hot Jukes.
They're in big trouble. Let's see how they're going to be able to get out of this one here. One thing that's always so good is out for Alpha 7 is they're so good at that edge-style play. But I totally get it right here. They got a good beeline right towards the center. In this position, honestly, Alpha 7 would want to kind of have a little bit of a handshake agreement with Mad Bulls. Just say, hey, you know what? Y'all stay on this side. We'll stay on this one and just finish this out top 2. But if you're Mad Bulls and you realize it's A7, you got to go for this fight.
Yeah, you do. I mean, they've already got that first knock, right? So they know. They've got a good, clear idea of who this is. For the Mad Bulls, you know, they are down in 10th place. But the thing for them is that for a 10th place team, it means all the more to stop Alpha 7 in their tracks. Because that gives you so much more opportunity throughout the day to climb those ranks. You're probably not getting first place, Jukes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you might be getting 5th, 4th, 6th. And that's a big jump up in cash.
That's a fact. I mean, even Mad Bulls, I mean, it's so crazy because you can put a 20-point game up here, and you're at 65.
Dude,
you put 20,
dude.
you're in 5th place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, man,
Hello.
I guess I get why teams are playing this so passive because it's still all possible. But at the same time, like, you know